This is my opinion, and this is why Proposition 22 will fail for Uber, Doordash, Lyft, and Instacart. Hear me out. The LA Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Tribune, San Diego, all of these newspapers, right, are running articles online. Social media outlets are all running these articles that Uber and their partners in crime have upped another 70 million to 180 million. 180 million, folks, look at that. People on the street that go out to vote know what you can do with $180 million. And they say to themselves, wow, firstly, they spent $110 million, right? Now they're spending another 70 million. They must be desperate. They must be really, really trying to get something across, right? And they are spending mountains and mountains and mountains of $100 notes. And people know those money could go to other causes. Now, in the history, this is the largest bill in the California history, right? Pharmaceutical companies, oil companies, and other companies have not even spent this type of money to try and get a bill passed, right? And you got to ask yourself, if the oil industry wants to get a bill passed, if the pharmaceutical industry is throwing $100 million at something, there must be something fishy. So there is something very, very fishy if Uber and its gangster clan want to put $180 million into something. So LA Times, I've read all these articles. They're not kind to the bill. And where these gig companies are failing, right? All they're doing is with this money is really trying to run some social media ads, get the drivers all pumped up and, angry and excited about this bill. But the media, the papers, all the online outlets, here's even Yahoo Finance, which broadcasts a ton of blogs throughout the month. They are very, very anti this bill. Uber and Lyft just made their campaign to keep exploiting workers, the costliest in history. Let's doff our hats to Uber and Lyft and their fellows in the gig economy, having created a model of exploiting workers and obnoxiously browbeating local officials to get their way. They have now set a record for spending on a self-interested ballot proposition. This is self-interest. And the part that California drivers will wake up to in November, if they vote yes, right, is that your only money-making ways right now, for example, the multiplier, you being able to deny a trip if you want to, they're gone, right? They're gone in November. So you must enjoy it while you can for the next 60 days, because Uber has shown us time and time and time and time again, they just go to the same old. They make it even worse, right? Your rates go down, down, down. It's called the race to the bottom. Subsidized discount, subsidized discount. So if drivers don't understand how Uber and Lyft and these other guys function by now, they never will. So that's what I call a sucker for punishment, right? And to me, it's more like a psychological thing. You are sold that you are a true independent contractor, but you are not an independent contractor. You really, really need to research and look up the true definition of an independent contractor. A true independent contractor, a little bit right now, can set their own rates with the multiplier. But come November, that's gone. There is no independence. So you buying into this IC status. If anything, we need to be pushing more and more and more for independent contractor status. I would like to see every driver worldwide be a true independent contractor. That's what I'm pushing for, right? So the $70 million in new contributions to their campaign to pass Proposition 22 on November's ballot, disclosed Friday, adds to the more than 110 million already contributed, bringing the total to 181.4 million. Now the public, the Californians, the citizens, over 30 million plus, They get to read this. Wow, they blew $110 million. They're blowing another $70 million. They could put that into other education programs, health programs, environmental programs. No, they're spending it on trying to get their agenda through. One might think this is an obscene amount of money. I think it is, to spend on a ballot proposition that would deny thousands of workers basic workplace conditions, including a living wage, access to unemployment and worker compensation coverage, and the right to unionize. But to paraphrase the fictional British Prime Minister Francis Eurocott, we couldn't possibly comment. It's proper to observe, however, that the gig company's spending puts to shame, listen to this is an important part, it puts to shame that of such other self-important interests as the oil industry, which spent $92.6 million, spent double as much, right? Double as much as the oil industry to defeat a state oil extraction tax in 2006. The dialysis industry, which spent $110.5 million to kill proposed regulations on their clinics in 2018, and the pharmaceutical industry, which spent $109 million to defeat drug price controls in 2016, and more than $81 million to roughly the same purpose in 2005. So just compare the numbers there for a second, right? Compare what Uber, Instacart, Lyft, Doordash, and others are spending versus the oil industry, versus the pharmaceutical industry. Native American tribes also spent about $155 million on 2008 campaigns to uphold gaming compacts that they had negotiated with the state. In almost all of these cases, the industry spending swamped that of the opposition. In the case of Proposition 22, the opposition, mostly labor organizations, has raised about $4.8 million. So that $4.8 million is minute, right? Yeah, you'll get some online coverage, but you're not going to get the $180 million coverage as Uber, Lyft, Doordash, and others do. But here's the big difference, and I'm going to go back to the beginning of my video. When the public, when the California citizens see that you are squandering this type of money, 110 million, another 70 million, they would say, hey, those monies could have gone to better causes, right? Education, environment, and many, many other great California causes. Why squander $180 million? And I think that's what's going to be in their head when they go to that ballot box, right? Because what they're seeing online is a whole lot of articles that are very, very much anti-Uber, Lyft, Doordash, and Instacart. So we shall see. Now, you as the driver, you have the power to influence many people. You have the power to go and get smart on this proposition, right? You can do your homework. And I'm not going to get into any argument with any driver. I fully understand that they want the independence, and you should keep that, right? What I'm pushing for, what some people are pushing for, is the best of the best. And the best of the best is you get to choose. If you want to work with multiple companies, you get to choose your hours, whether you want to drive midnight or in the mornings, right? You should have those protections, those employee protections built in, and you should truly be able to decline a trip if you want to. Might be too far out of your range, might just not work for you time-wise. And most importantly, you should be able to set your rates. You should dictate the prices. What am I going to charge him or her from A to B, right? The only place I see this is when you have your own TCP private limo license, right? Where you are your own boss. And again, I've taught that formula to thousands of drivers out there. That to me is the most true independent contractor that you can that status is the highest that you can achieve, because nobody can tell you what to do when you're running your own business, right? You make it succeed or you make it fail. So I hope and pray that drivers understand that this multiplier is gone. adios multiplier in November, right? It was something that Uber had brought out as a legal argument against AB5. It'll evaporate come November. So rally around us, do the right thing, keep on pushing the state to get a better deal, keep on pushing Uber and Lyft on social media to give us a better deal, and don't just go out and settle on yes on 22. Thank you.